Chafing Armor Podcast, Episode 2, The Gilded Guard. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and with me tonight is Dare. Dare, tell us who you will be playing.
Greetings, everyone. I am Dare, and I will be playing Jack Hasenpfefffer, your favorite rabbit folk artificer.
And also with us tonight is James. James, tell us who you will be playing.
Hello. My name is James, and I am playing Lexicon, the Warforged Bard.
Still love that concept. And last but certainly not least tonight, we have Riley. Riley, tell us who you will be playing.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm playing Torrent Wobbletail, a cleric Axolotl who is ready for an adventure.
Indeed. And Izzy is unable to be on tonight because they are helping celebrate my mother's 80th birthday, which I think is a great excuse, by the way. But they will be on another time, so Gideon will be played by me briefly tonight. When we last left in the new series of Chafing Armor, and if you'd like to find out more and see extra stuff, you can see it at patreon.com/chafingarmor. We saw these characters come together in a town of Dusk Hollow. Dusk Hollow lies in the shadow of a dark area of rolling hills that is known as the Shrouded Maw. All of these characters came into the First Flood Inn. There, some jaunty music was played by none other than the seemingly inert Lexicon when a very unpleasant knight came in looking for a horn. And when people were not able to help them, she began trying to murder people. And only because of the brave actions of Jack Hasenpfefffer, Torrent Wobbletail, Gideon, and the becoming animate Lexicon, was this terrifying Knight of Darkness able to be defeated. We now stand amid these ruins. And before your dungeon master launches in, does anybody want to do anything?
Jack is just recovering and trying to gather his wits. He is scared, but he is trying to protect the barkeep and Lexicon.
Okay. Now, Lexicon, you have come to consciousness after a very long time. The truth is, you do not know, nor do you have full memory of what last happened to you. Your last memory is hazy, to say the least. As you begin to come to yourself, almost immediately after gaining motion again, you were then dropped by this terrifying knight and then brought back. You are badly injured. What do you think you look like right now?
Really, he is just kind of like powering back up as he lays on the floor. And as he does, a couple of little lights internal lights come on, and there's a little bit of a whirring sound, and he kind of just bends at the waist upward into a sitting position, and just kind of looks around and is, trying to gather his thoughts again after just moments ago doing so for the first time in who knows how long. So he's a little disoriented.
Absolutely. And Jack and Torrent, you came in together. You've been traveling together. As you are all kind of picking yourself up, you were all nearly killed by this extremely powerful knight. You do not know what all powers she had. As you kind of collect yourself, you hear this screech come from the upper floor. There is an upper floor, an inn, as you will, in this. And a maid comes flying down the stairs. She is wielding a broom, a large broom that is carefully hand-stitched. and it is a tabaxi woman. She is a tabby. She has a strange, almost forking pattern on her forehead that makes her look perpetually surprised as she comes down, and she goes, "Oh, now what's all this then? What's all this then? You're making a horrible mess." And she comes in and she starts poking you, Jack, with her broom.
Ah, not me. Not me. I'm not the one causing trouble. It's her. And he points to the knight.
All right. What kind of armor do you have?
Jack has studded leather armor.
Okay. She comes up. She grabs where the arm meets and kind of yoinks you close to her by the studded leather. And she goes, "Oh, you're telling me you didn't make this mess in here? Is that what you're telling me then?" And you can hear the barkeep, Brun, the halfling, going like, "Oh, now, come on now. Sable, it's not that bad." And she pushes you away and rounds on you, Torrent, and go, "You're telling me you didn't make this mess?"
Well, we stopped an even bigger mess, and we saved him, and we were here to help. And we will absolutely help you clean up. We are so sorry about this mess. This should not have happened in the first place. We are so sorry about all of this trouble that this knight has caused. They were looking for a horn and destroying things, and they hurt him, so we had to help, and we are so sorry about this mess. And Torrent, you can see her just start to pick up pieces and kind of sweep them into a corner, kind of nudging with the foot, picks up a table, sits it back up, just kind of frantically moving around to put things back. Just so sorry about the mess. I mean, we should have been more aware of people around and what was going on, and trying to just be better about that. We will do better in the future.
Okay. Give me I want a roll from you. I would love to see a persuasion roll from you.
Okay.
One of your highest skills, I'm sure.
Okay, that's not bad. That's going to be a 16.
Okay. Well, she comes up and she grabs hold of like your cloak and kind of pulls you. It's like, well, do you have the horn? Do you have the horn then? That they was looking for? Because we might have some more trouble in here.
I don't have any kind of like musical instrument on me. I mean, the music player that came to life over there, he was playing music. I don't have any horns or trumpets or anything.
And she rounds on you, Lexicon, and she seems more annoyed than anything at you. She says, "Now what are you doing out of your corner? You supposed to be what are you doing?" And she looks over and points at Gideon. Gideon is rifling through the sack of coins that fall down when people would put the money through the scrim that would make you play. And walks over and just starts beating Gideon over the head with a broom and shoves him back and goes, "Get your ruddy hands off there, get him right off." And she rounds and tries to push you back into your spot. Lexicon, what are you going to do?
Lexicon will stand up and kind of ignore her pushes. And then he will rotate and turn to her, and he's 6'4", so he's a little taller than her, I imagine. And kind of looks down at her and cocks his head a little bit and says for the first time,
"Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry for your inconvenience. I will happily allow you to keep all of the money that you made by abusing my systems in order to balance out any kind of debt that we owe you for this mess."
She stops dead, and everyone else, they're like, even though there is no music playing, the music stops playing, and everyone turns and looks at you because nobody knew you could speak, and they're just all kind of dumbstruck. And she tries pushing some of the lever type things on your system. To no effect, I might add.
Right.
And goes like, don't you got something that switches you off?
I'm afraid not.
Jack, I would like you to make a perception check.
All right. Jack's dice that I bought just for this purpose. And perception, that is a regular 12.
12. Okay. This is not quite going to do it. So you sense something else is going on here, but you're just not quite. It's just there's too much going on at the moment. And now Muckraker, who is the full-blooded orc handyman / bouncer, and the only reason that this halfling was able to move you into position, Lexicon, is standing up, and who's, by the way, whose life you all saved. And he goes, "Oh, now, Morning Frost, just leave them be. We'd all be dead if it weren't for them." And he kicks the corpse of the armored knight, and then does a my toe, because she is wearing full plate. Says, "God, I am so sorry. You guys are the best, and I thank you so much for all that you've done." That's when the door opens. And in walks a knight. However...
Well, this is getting ridiculous.
and they look exactly the same as other. No. This knight actually does look different, though. While this Sir Kaleen Moregrave, who y'all had managed to defeat by the hair of your chinny chin chin, her armor is blackened and covered in Kabbalistic runes of unknown design. This knight has a resplendent chest plate. He's not in full plate armor, but he does have a breastplate and chainmail mix. And he is has a glorious beard, just this winding beard. It's almost like Gandalfian in its beardiness, but it's a much younger, more like a blonde with lots of gray in it. And
human?
He is human, yes. He walks in and goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I seem to have interrupted something. Is everything all right?"
Well, these people, they're holding this, automaton warforged, person. They're holding him against his will and extorting money from him. And there was this other Black Knight that came in and started throwing people around, and it's been a lot in just a few moments. It's been a lot, I'll tell you that.
Goodness gracious. Well, I am so sorry that I was not here earlier. I would have been more than happy. As one of the Gilded Guard, it is my duty to protect those in need. But I am here for another reason. And he turns and looks not at you, Jack, not at you, Torrent, not even at you, Lexicon, though he does, pause for a moment and look at you. His eyes fall on Gideon. And he says, "No, I am here for my son." And you guys haven't really had a chance to talk to Gideon very much. Gideon is a very scraggly man who seemed to be very sneaky, and seems very surprised to see this man speaking to him. And he says, "Could I trouble? There seems to be a lot of things going on right now. Could I possibly have all of you just step outside with me for the briefest moment? Not far. I don't wish to impose on you, but may I speak with you privately, along with my son?"
Me?
Yes.
Are you sure you want me? Nobody ever wants me.
I assure you, Jack Hasenpfefffer, I desperately need your help. And you, Torrent Wobbletail, and especially my son Gideon. And what is your name, good sir? And he's walking up and looking you up and down, Lexicon.
A lilting little tune comes out from his chest on the dulcimer, and he says,
Hello and well met. My name is Lexicon.
And he keeps staring at you, and he just says, fascinating. Well, could I trouble you all to step outside for and the maid doubles in. Yes, get on, get going, get out. You just go, get. If you're not going to work, then you especially get. And she actually kicks you in the backside with a tink, Lexicon, and brandishes her broom dangerously.
Lexicon kind of half turns toward her, and his little hand crossbow that is mounted on his shoulder kind of twitches a little bit. But then he turns and then grabs the knight that was attacking us, who is now dead, by like the top of the breastplate, picks it up, kind of picks the person up and kind of drags them out the front door.
What is your strength, by the way?
It's only 10.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, you can drag her, but she is heavy. She's not like super tall. She's maybe like 5'10", but obviously in full plate, she ain't nothing.
Right.
But no one stops you because y'all were the ones who defeated her, and they don't want to. So you does anyone not come outside?
Jack helps Lexicon. Wants to seem useful, and so grabs the knight by the feet and is checking the knight over visually to see if there's anything of value as they are dragging, pushing, carrying this person out of the building.
Well, that sounds like a new perception check.
Okay.
That I would love to see from you.
And that is a 16.
So the most you would have to roll a 1 to not see, because I mentioned it briefly. They have a silver hammer around their neck, literally like worn like almost like a necklace. It is not intended. It is not like a piece of jewelry. It is literally a silver hammer. Not super big, but like, the size of like what we would think of as a hammer. Just the end is slightly wider than what we would think of, but it is blackened as if by fire or magic. But there's clearly something about it. It's either magical or valuable or something. They do have some pouches on them. They did not have a backpack of any kind, but they do have some pouches, and so they have, if you want to write this down, Jack, they have the equivalent of 59 gold on them in both gold and silver. And the armor itself is, of course, valuable. It would just be very, very awkward to carry. But you could strip it from her if you wish. But other than that, you do not see anything else.
Being a practical person, he doesn't have any place for the armor. So he goes, that's some interesting stuff. Well, we'll give some of this money for repairs, and it'll help us with our inconveniences for the night. And I'm going to let's just make sure this silver hammer doesn't get stolen. And so I'll just tuck this in one of my pouches.
Okay.
That's so thoughtful of you.
It is. Thank you for recognizing that.
When you touch the hammer, you do feel a flash of magical power, but nothing happens. But you can tell that there is something special about this hammer. What? You have no idea. But you are not injured or anything, or cursed or whatever. This knight, he is stroking his glorious beard, and says, "Greetings to you all. My name is Lazramok. Lazramok, Knight of the Gilded Guard. And he bows to you all, and you see that his armor, it is not gold, but it is traced with gold, which you suspect is real gold, to give it this, glinting feel to it. But the armor itself is very functional. And he says, I must apologize to you, but I need to borrow my son for a brief time. Young Gideon here, I need his help on a errand of sorts, but I will return him to you. And I do think you are going to need his help. You seem to be a little banged up, as it were, and I don't recommend trying to sleep here for the night. You've kind of all caused a ruckus, as it were. If only there was some other place you could go. And he reaches forward and he takes hold of your non-existent lapels, Jack, and adjusts them. And as he does, you feel something in your armor shift. And you realize there is a piece of parchment shoved in your armor.
Okay.
But it was not from him.
All right. So Jack is going to wait till he is not looking or anybody else is looking to get that out. So It's going to be a while.
And I would like both Lexicon and Torrent to make a perception check, please.
Alrighty. Not 20.
No. Okay.
For a
16.
21.
Torrent? 16? Okay. So, Torrent, you also realize that literally pinned, you don't know how, onto your cloak as you are just kind of, getting everything ready for possible travel. There is a piece of parchment with literally a sewing pin, a large sewing pin. It is pinned to your robe. And Lexicon, if someone was to have delivered, like, say, a kick to your backside, you don't know how they would do it, but somehow in one of the areas where your body is designed to slot in other instruments or possibly weapons, someone has lodged a piece of parchment.
Oh, I was hoping it was stuck to him with a refrigerator magnet.
Well, then he would start malfunctioning.
I am not magnetic.
You are non-ferrous metals. You did say you are a combination of metals and wood, I believe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you are not a purely metal man.
While the knight is talking, Lexicon's going to stoop down and efficiently start removing the armor off of the knight on the ground.
Okay.
And Jack is just kind of hovering over you as you do and goes, "Ooh, that'll look good on you. Oh, I bet that's really nice for you. Ooh,
I cannot wear
that?
this.
Do you need any help?"
I cannot wear this, but we could perhaps sell it.
Indeed.
Okay.
It is, obviously they are closed now, but there is a armor smith in town that might be able to assist you with that. You could ask for them. Greymore is the name of the gentleman. I did not do my armor, but I've heard good things. I must...
Seymour?
Greymore, yes.
Greymore.
Yes, Greymore, the armor smith. He does weapons as well, but I believe he specializes in armor of the different sorts. But I do apologize. I must away with my son. Now, Gideon is not, like, resisting him or anything, but he does seem, like, anxious. And nods to Lazramok and says to all of you, I guess I'll see you guys later, okay?
All right. Well, it was so nice to meet you. I am looking forward to our great adventures together.
I am too, and they kind of scratch the back of their neck, and you'll notice as they're walking off, you see Gideon reach down, and there is a piece of parchment wedged in the back of their neck, in the scruff of their neck. And they make their way off into the darkness.
So Torrent, what would you like to go do? We need a place to stay. We can't stay here. It's a mess. Should we go in and give them a couple of pieces of gold, or should we flip it through the doorway, or mail it to them? How much is too much? How much trouble is too much? What should we do? What do you think? I think we should go find a place to go.
I truly think we should find a place to stay, and as for giving, I don't think there's ever too much to be given for trouble or to help people. Just, whatever you think, Jack. You seem very smart. So, let's figure out a place to stay for the night, and we can also drop off some funds so they can fix up the inn. That way we don't cause any more inconvenience. Or Lexicon, what do you think? You were there longest. Even if you don't seem too happy there. Do you have any recommendations in this area? Are you from here?
I am not aware of where I am, or where I am going. And as for the compensation for the bar owner, I think that he has made enough off of my talents, I assume, judging by the bag that was left behind, that he will be all right.
Quite true.
And so Jack goes from crestfallen hearing Torrent say that we should pay to quite ecstatic and leaning close to Lexicon saying, "You are most certainly right. I think we should go now."
I suppose I am.
And so we do a look up and down the street. Do we see any other inns or saloons or places to rest?
There are other places. They're not nearly as big as the First Flood Inn. Technically, there are a couple of other places you could stay. They're really more like what we would call like a Airbnb, where it's like an extra room for someone, but there's a sign up where you can inquire within, kind of thing. You all see that the moon is just starting to rise over the hill in the distance, and you can hear a wolf howl, and the papers that you're all holding just flutter slightly in a slightly cool breeze.
Lexicon will pull his out and take a look at it.
Okay. It is dark outside, but there is enough ambient light from the outside. It's a little hard to read things with dark vision, but you can.
Well, I don't have dark vision, but Lex will activate his dancing lights, and just like 4 little globes of light will like spin around his head.
Okay. And as suddenly this outdoor area where near the stables, you can hear the horses champing. The lights of your things dance around, and you look at each of you, whether or not you decide to compare or not. You realize that each of your parchments are identical. Now, you don't know if there's a spell that can do this, or if the person just did it very carefully, but there is a single sentence on the top, and it says, "Seek the archivist." And on each of them is a simple but very precise map. And it tells you where to go to a location that is marked with an X, and it just says archivist at the X. And it leads you out of town into the Gaping Maw.
Oh wow, our first adventure as a group. A quest.
A quest, an adventure. Will this make us famous?
Oh, who needs famous when you can help
songs
people?
Of us?
Someone clearly needs help. Or there's something going on here. It's a mystery we could solve, or it's just something to do.
I'm sure that's all well and good, but a little notoriety doesn't hurt. I mean, one doesn't want to get lost in the crowd.
To each their own.
Do you want to be famous? Says a voice as a beggar comes staggering in out of the darkness. Is an incredibly old male human, scraggly beard, bald head. He's clutching like an ancient staff, but not the wizarding kind. I found this stick on the side of the road kind. And he says, "Are you all famous adventurers?"
No. I don't want to be famous. I just don't want to be forgotten.
Oh, you don't want to be forgotten. I've been forgotten for longer than I can remember.
How long has that been?
Yeah. You got any spare coppers there, my good? What exactly are you? And for the listeners, just very briefly, tell them what we are seeing right now. First, Jack, tell them what we see.
So Jack is a rabbit folk from the Feywild. He stands about 4.5 feet tall, with his ears going about another 6 to 8 inches taller than that. Gray fur for the most part, with accents of red and brown tufts on the crown of his head, and his what would be a mustache and goatee, and rabbit features in red studded leather armor and tunic, and brown pants and pads. He's holding what looks to be a thigh bone, a carved thigh bone that's about 3 feet long, 2.5 feet long, hollowed out. It has a couple of empty sheep's bladders attached to it for extruding concoctions that he has whipped up with his alchemist learning, and has various pouches and bags all over him. And he looks like somebody that both wants to be brave and present, but is also very, very cautious. And maybe a little scared.
And he hobbles a little closer and peers at you, and then turns to you, Torrent Wobbletail, and says, "What is your name? What are you?" And tell everybody what they see.
Oh, well, my name's Torrent. Looking at Torrent, you see just a bright blue axolotl. They have silver scale mail armor, a giant trident strapped to their back, and clerical robes that have silver and gold stitched in storm motifs through the fabric that almost look hand-done, like they were done with care, but by someone who's probably not the greatest at stitching. Just bright blue, with purple accents. When Torrent opens their mouth to talk, you see a purple tongue and a purple mouth. Just otherworldly.
Oh, are you cursed, young one?
Oh, cursed with the sense of adventure, yes.
Okay, then. And he turns to you, Lexicon, and he gets very quiet. And he just looks at you. Do you have... I can't remember what you said. Do you have eyes?
He does not. He doesn't have a face. It's just kind of a blank metal mask.
He walks up to you, and of course, if you let him, he puts his hand up to your faceplate and touches it.
He doesn't seem threatening. Why not?
Yeah. And he says, I seemed that there was something like you a long time ago. Not you understand, just something like you. You are quite singular, my friend. And tell everyone what is he looking at?
He is putting his hand on the face, like a brass bronze kind of. It's kind of hard to tell what kind of metallic material it is, but it's in that vein. Blank face on a 6'4" metallic and also wood, like along the support joints and stuff, like kind of like where muscles would be is where the wood is. But it's a wood like unlike anything that's known in this region, at least. Seems extremely hard, almost like hard as metal. And so he's like that from top to bottom. Has kind of like hinged feet and well articulated hands. And he also has what may not have been noticed originally is a layer of leather armor that's like basically kind of like crimped on with metal hooks all along the edges of it so that it's can't be removed. It's just sort of locked in place. And no visible weapons, though the hand crossbow sized crossbow that was on his shoulder kind of collapsed and kind of like sits flush on his shoulder, like just a bit of ornamentation when it's not in use. And he just again looks kind of down at the band curiously while he has his hand in his face, and doesn't seem very fazed by it, and says,
"Hello, I am Lexicon. Do you perhaps remember someone similar to me? I may be old, I do not know."
Gods know that I'm old, and
that is correct.
There was a battle long time ago. Oh, gosh. 60 years, maybe 70. I was a young man then, and there was a great battle, and I remember something like you come striding out. But it was festooned with weapons and armor, and it sang with songs of battle, and nothing seemed to stand before it. But it was bigger than you, and it was, I don't know, pointier, you might say.
I see. I am not pointy, so this is probably not me.
I suppose not, but could I trouble you good sirs and lady? What is Torrent's pronouns?
They, them.
My good gentles, could you perhaps spare a coin for an old man who's in need of a drink?
Begrudgingly, Jack goes into the money purse that he got off of the Black Knight and pulls out a gold coin and gives it to the beggar.
And just so you know, because I'm not going to make you, you do have silver in there. It's a total of 59 gold.
Right.
Mostly. Okay. And he lights up. He was expecting a copper. So anyone who can do math, he lights up. He goes, thank you, good Sir Rabbit, Sir Jack. It was he can hardly. And he goes, I have a drink to get, and he immediately starts going into the inn, and then he stops and he turns and he says, do be careful. There's many dangers out there, my friends. And then he turns and goes into the inn, and you hear I need a drink, and music starts playing. You don't know where from because their music player is gone. So
walked out the front door.
Yeah, exactly. That literally their jukebox got up and That's my favorite country song. Is my jukebox got up and done left.
Oh, in my truck with my dog.
So, what would y'all like to do?
Well, I suppose we should find a place to rest for tonight.
Some of you, I believe, especially Lexicon, is pretty badly banged up.
Yes, I could use some downtime.
You do find a, like I said, there's a certain sign which Jack, you recognize from some of your previous travels, and it basically says "Inquire within" for lodging. It's actually, it seems to be some kind of stable, but like a more like where they would raise horses. So it's a little more extensive. But an elderly woman offers y'all a place to stay in the barn that is slightly nicer than the rest of the barn. It's still the barn, but it's got like a sectioned off area with like some, reasonable beds and like a little area that's clearly been set aside so they can actually reasonably charge people for it. And she looks you all over and says that it would be 1 gold for the night with breakfast.
Jack sighs and hands over another gold piece.
You're poor now.
Well,
no.
As they're heading towards the barn, he looks towards Lexicon. Well, mending didn't work on you. Let's and I didn't realize how animated you were, so let's see what cure wounds might do once we get settled.
Okay. And I do, the elderly woman gives you all a large hunk of bread. It's not particularly great, but it's not bad. And a pitcher with water for the night, because they're not going to serve you a meal this late at night, but they just give you a little something. And would you like to try cure wounds on this mechanical man?
Yeah, after they get settled, and Jack looks at Lexicon, goes, "You're not going to eat that bread, are you?" And gently takes it out of his hand and
I suppose I will not.
pockets most of it and gives about a third to Torrent, and acting very magnificent and kind as he does that, goes up to Lexicon and goes, "Well, now let's see," and pulls out what looks like a brass button and presses it to the front of Lexicon and pushes on it, and when he activates it, it activates Cure Wounds for 7 points of healing.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And Lexicon, could you do me a favor and roll a D100 and tell me what you get?
Okay. Mysterious. All right. And the healing does work, right? Or is this going to be judging whether the healing works?
Go ahead and roll.
Okay. All right. Okay. 37.
Okay. You as the power. Where does your healing power come from, Jack?
It comes from his training from his mother, who was an alchemist and healer back in their village, and had taught him, and he had been raised on alchemy and healing spells, and so he has a fair knowledge of it.
Mm-hmm. And as you think of your mother and press the button in, you do feel there's like a sense of going from to the other, almost like an electrical charge goes into this mechanical man, and he does heal. And you, Lexicon, you feel like there's almost like systems. There's things within you, like just in the same way that we can't feel our circulatory system, but you feel that there's more. in you that is still dormant, that is still asleep. And it remains so. However, you do heal, and your body mends itself. You feel more functional. You feel more actionable. And you realize that you actually didn't realize, because you're still coming to terms with being sentient again, like how injured you were, because you were basically on death's door. And that this has really helped you a great deal.
Yeah, I imagine there's some pops and clangs and like spring sounds straightening out, that kind of thing, as the healing takes effect from the inside.
Okay, is there
kind of like changing temperature? Like the expanding from heat or contracting from cold kind of sounds.
I absolutely not quite the level of Tin Man going toot toot, but I do like the idea of like some slight steam kind of like coming off you as the processes inside you heal you. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do before going to bed?
Well, Jack walks around Lexicon very curious, because he would have thought that the mending would have worked on a construct, but it changes his whole view of who Lexicon is, and makes him look at him more as like a person, and is now very curious about his new companion.
You remember like being a young Fey rabbit and asking your mother, like, why can't I heal a chair? Why can't I heal a broken sword? And she says those things are not alive. And you cannot heal that which was never alive. And it really changes the way you think about this thing who is becoming more and more animate as the night progresses. So y'all all lay down to go to sleep. How about you, Lexicon? Do you lay down to go to sleep?
Lexicon is not. He basically takes a stand by the entryway to the barn and turns to the others and says, "Don't worry, I will keep watch as you sleep." And then he turns, faces outward, and then just kind of, I don't want to say slumps, but he just kind of settles into place, like all of his joints kind of like lock. And you hear this kind of like boop sound inside, and then there's like this little red light that's like flashing on the side of his neck every now and then, kind of like the security little light on when you lock your car, kind of thing. And
Canon accepted.
Yeah. So it's the sound is more of a whip whip when he shuts down.
Gotcha.
Interesting. And so Jack turns to Torrent and says, "Well, I guess the hay is all ours." And Jack jumps in the middle and makes himself as large as possible, because he's used to having to share with all his brothers and sisters. And so he feels that there's more than enough room for Torrent anywhere else but in his spot.
I like it. And Torrent, is how are you as far as do you have any requirements as far as moisture?
They took the whole pitcher of water with them to sit by the bed to drink throughout the night.
Okay.
Probably gonna get up and get more water later on. Oh, Jack, would you mind scooching your arm a little bit over? Just a little bit.
And he kind of moves his arm maybe a couple of inches instead of being spread out, sprawling. He puts his right arm down a little bit to make some room, but not much.
I love it. And surprisingly, after all this and after a near-death experience, you fall easily asleep, Jack and Torrent, and you dream. And you dream the same dream. You both find yourself walking in a maze. And I would like you both to make just give me a straight wisdom roll, I think would be good.
Wisdom. That comes with a -1. So let's see.
Mine's a 20, not natural.
Nice.
Mine is a 6. 7 -1.
Not
So
natural.
let us say that you find yourself getting more and more lost in this maze, Jack, as you become more frustrated, more worried, more scared. It's hot, it's oppressive, it's strange here, and then as you're turning a corner, you realize that there's just a pit. It's not even a trap. There's just a hole there, and you almost step into it, and that's when Torrent grabs you by the arm and yoinks you backwards from this pit. And Torrent, you don't know the exact way out, but you can tell that the other way is the way to go. Not just the pit, but just the way to exit. And is there anything you'd like to say in the stream?
It's this way. For some reason, it's this way. We have to go this way.
Of course. Whatever you say. Yeah. Okay. Whatever you say. Sure.
As you walk, you both get a smell, and especially you, Jack, you can tell this is the smell of fairies. There's just this really strong fey smell coming. There's nothing quite like it, and you see like a few leaves blow in the wind, and you see this very powerful looking fey woman walking, and she is carrying a crown. And as she walks closer to y'all, you can tell that this is not just a crown. This is a crown that is fused with flesh, and it is dripping blood continuously
And
onto the ground.
Jack's ears fall back, and he's there. Oh, we shouldn't be here. We need to be we can't be here. We gotta go. It's gotta go. And so his rabbit folk senses are telling him to be gone quick.
Excellent. You turn around because she's coming towards y'all, and you both realize that there is a figure standing behind you, and it is vast. It is huge. It is this hulking form, and there is no mistaking what it is. It is a minotaur, and it towers above you, easily about 13 feet high. So it is gigantic, but it's not gigantic, if you understand me. And it has an enormous, what would for any other creature be a double-handed weapon, this giant cleaving weapon. And its eyes just glare down at both of you. And you see as it does that it has this twisting horn coming out of one side of its head, but the other one, the left-handed one, is broken and snapped off. And it says, "There is nothing that will stop me now. The rage will fill the material plane, and there is nothing you can do to stop me." And it raises up this massive weapon, and you feel this flash of hatred, anger, rage, bestiality. Both of you have seen a barbarian rage before, and you realize that it's something like that, but it is so much more primal. And as this weapon is swinging out towards both of you, you both feel your bodies start to split in half. And as they begin to split in half, you hear a voice, a very calm voice, and it says, "This need not happen. I can help you. But you must seek me out." As the weapon crashes through both of you, and while you are in that sentry mode, Lexicon, your warning, your detect evil trips and awakens you. And you detect evil directly behind you where your new companions are.
I will turn and look.
Okay. And for a moment, you get the briefest glimpse of a shadowy figure. And it almost has the form of a minotaur as it looms over them. And then it is gone. And you see that both of your companions have small streams of blood coming from their chests, as if something had cut them right down the center. And that's where we'll end Chafing Armor, Episode 2 of the Hornless King. Thank you all for playing.
Thank you. That was
Thanks for doing
awesome.
Goodness.
That was great.
Brand new nightmares.
Brand
Yay.
new nightmares for everyone. We have lots of fun coming up. And speaking of fun, if y'all would like to see more fun, see some early extras, join our Discord, chat with me directly, you can go to patreon.com/chafingarmor to find out more. Thank you all for playing.
Thank you.
Thank you for leading us.
Yowza.
Y'all have a wonderful evening, and until next time, we will scratch that itch for role-playing. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.